So what I'm gonna do now is prepare for the 1st and the 15th for the collection that I'm creating. But the main thing about the 1st and the 15th is just restoring the essence and restoring the feeling and bringing you guys along the journey with me, because rent is due, fam. Rent is actually due. Take risks and prosper. Let's get to it. Is this my con, fam? All right, including this one right here. This one goes dummy. I've done the 6 prepared, and now we're gonna gesso prime them for painting. Hopefully, I get to start painting today. You know, I would like to wait 24 hours for the gesso to, what I'm saying, set, but today's just not one of those days. So yeah, I'm gonna get locked in, gesso these, and yeah, I gotta still run some errands, live my life, etc. But yeah, we're gonna start painting today. I wanted to tell you the story about my friend. He's one of the best that I've ever known. But sometimes things just aren't clicking, right? This is a real story. You can tell by my hesitation, right? So yeah, I got this friend, probably the best at what we do, easily the best, right? And in speaking to him, I know, or even just seeing his work, I can just see. Like I remember, just growing up, it was literally phenomenal. I looked at his work like, oh, you're him. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be the one. And I was looking at myself, and I asked myself, yo, how come you can't be this good? Like that's the type of person that I am. Like if I see someone that's great, I'm gonna be like, yo, I need to like work my way up into being great also. But this is the point I wanted to make. When I was, seeing this friend, they they had everything in the beginning. They had everything, but one thing after the other, they couldn't get it clicking. They couldn't get nothing clicking, and I was like, yo, you're the best. You're the best, because I personally think that they're one of the best, but they didn't have it. And today, they don't know what it is that makes them the best. And one of the major things that I realized is that, yo, you can't just feel those type of things. You have to immerse yourself in those type of things. And if I had any advice to them, it would be, yo, look at this, yeah. What you have to do is be consistent. And not consistent in the way of, oh, just do every day. It's like, no, make your bread for a whole year, do the thing that you like to do, or that's making you money, do it for a year. And sometime within that year, something is going to happen. Because it happened to me. You're going to feel the itch. Because we're artists, we all feel the itch, right? And that itch is based on just us wanting to not be stagnant. And that is the time that you make something. That's the amazing thing about being an artist. Regardless of what you're doing, you're gonna want to change, and that change is based on your ability to add things to the repertoire that you've created for yourself. So let's say you got a job, you're in a creative field, you're doing this and that. All right, in the midst of all of that, you do whatever you want, your own personal desires, all of that type of stuff, and then you do it again, and then you do it again, and you just keep doing it and adding it to your repertoire, and sooner or later you're gonna see something. And within your own work, like your own personal work, you're gonna see, yo, I want to go in this direction, or I want to go in that direction. And then you start fulfilling the urge, right? Because everybody gets an urge, but when you're an artist, that urge is quite particular, And that feeling of stagnation eats at you, and it can actually make you depressed. But what I see, especially in my life, is that it's easy to tell someone to be consistent, right? But this is the thing, when you got family, you got responsibilities, and you're grown and all of these other things, you can't just execute. Like, I'm, a little bit particular in that aspect, but you can't just do that. You gotta really want. You have to really want the thing that you said that you want. And for me, in seeing like this friend, it's like you're gonna get the urge, you're gonna get the itch to do whatever you want. Don't quit your job, don't do any of that type of stuff. But make one thing that is for yourself. It doesn't need to be a big project. Make one thing that's for yourself. And then, and only then, you do it again. And then, you get a little bit more time to yourself, you do it that time. Something that you can complete in a 24-hour segment, or an 8-hour segment, or a 4-hour segment that is just for you. And then, over the course of time, that stuff will compound. That is the idea of consistency. And in fulfilling your own personal desires, you will find a path that will open up to you whereby you can say, this is mine. And that is where you find whatever that North Star is, you find it in that like tunnel, that little light in the darkest tunnel that you see, which is your despair or stagnation. You'll find it. So this is not just a message to him, it's a message to all of my friends and myself, is make that one thing in that day, whether it's a challenge or whether it's just to fulfill that itch. Just do it whenever the urge compels you to do it, and then do it again, and then watch it compound. And with that mentality, you can then fulfill your desires. But yeah, let's get it. Okay, I lost my speaker, but this is now currently 11:30 in the evening. I've just done everything, and now I've done the background. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to fill the OJIJI figures with a darker, more like burnt umber, and see how that goes. I was able to, complete this in a way that I actually like it, to be honest. I like how it looks. And I believe the luster of these is just going to be, so amazing. And it's going to be so rich and fulfilling. So I'm liking the way that these are turning out now. Hopefully tomorrow I can do 3 and then do the other 3 on Friday. We'll see how that goes though. But so far, yeah, man, this is fun, bro. This is fun. I can't wait to do it. All right, so I've lost my mic, so I'm gonna have to speak up a little bit. But what's good? Another edition of the 1st and the 15th, and it's day 3, and I have to paint these. So I guess in the last video, where it left off, they weren't filled in like this. But yeah, I just done some color mixing. That was not on camera. I was like too locked in. Like, hopefully I get better at that. But yeah, I've got paint all over me. This is my paint from doing the gesso yesterday. But yeah, gonna see if I can do the backgrounds for all of these, and hopefully, just have a good evening. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm tired. I would really want to do this, but I'm tired. But I'm gonna have to do it anyway, innit? Because rent is due. And that's the most important thing about this, is that no matter what, I'm gonna have to lock in regardless, because yeah, man, gotta pay rent on the 1st. Okay, welcome to another, segment of the 1st and the 15th. I've done 5 of the 6. I literally just came back from work. So what I've got to do now is get this going. This will be the last one. It will be finished today, and hopefully I get to, do the paintings for the inside, so the actual OJIJI itself, and then the blue that goes over the faces. This has been the escapade, but
I feel like we're at the final hurdle, and I do believe in myself that I can get this done 100%. You know, there's been some planning and, like, you know, time scaling, but boy, this has been fun. I've enjoyed myself, and I can't wait for these to all be completed in a row and be displayed properly. So yeah, no, let's get this going. Obviously I have to paint the faces the chromatic blue that is like complementary to the rest of the figure, but you know, that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna do all of them at the same time, but I do want to prepare my next 3 canvases, so I'm gonna do the background colors for all of them. But I just realized that I need to pick a background color, so it's a bit crazy. We'll see what happens though. Hopefully it goes well, because yeah, I want to do the backgrounds and then yeah, finish them. But we locked away now. We locked of the 1st and the 15th, or should I say final recording of myself prior to all of these being finished. So essentially I've just got to put this blue on everything. I just finished mixing it, come back from work, ate, done everything that I needed to do, put myself together, and yeah, like, I'm just so invigorated by the idea that I would finish 6 canvases in 6 days. And I'm just positive and grateful for this particular instance, right? And that is one thing that I would love to say. So essentially, the story of me prior to this was a winding one. And I had success in other fields, but the most important thing, like the very most important thing, was that I knew I was always supposed to be painting. That's the most important thing about this. I knew I was always supposed to be painting. I was 22 on the train home from London, and I was practicing doing, like, you know, sketches. I was doing live drawing on trains, doing sketches. And I was like to myself, Damilare, what are you gonna do? How are you actually gonna put yourself together? What is gonna be your success for the future? How are you even gonna accomplish all the things that you wanted to accomplish, right? So I finished animation school, or should I say I left animation school for one reason or the other. But the most important thing is that I knew I wanted to paint. I knew I wanted to paint. And you know, now, years later, I'm painting. I'm doing everything that I said I was gonna do, but prior to it, it's like, yo, I could have been doing this whole time. I could have been doing this whole time, and yeah, you know, God timing is great, and you know, it's everything like that. But at the same time, it's like I could have been paying, and like, with the level of skill that you're seeing exhibited here, is not the level of skill that I had back then. And what I would have created at the age of 22 is not what I'm going to be creating now. And there's this two, like, dualities of thought, and you know, the processes that go into that. It's like, yeah, I could have always been doing this, but at the same time, it's like, what would I have been doing? And I did believe back then it was important for me, and even today, I did believe that, yeah, it's important for me to have life experience because I need to have something to say. I didn't want to just put anything into the world without having something to say. I didn't want to be another one of those people that just make stuff and then do it for money and all of this and all of that and have nothing real or of substance to say. And at 22, I'll be honest, I didn't believe I had the right substance. But now, where you see me, I'm creating things that, like, I well and truly love and truly believe in. And obviously, as the days go by and the months go by, I'll be talking more about what some of these actually mean, or what this instance, this mimetic dialogue that I'm creating actually means. But the reality is that, like, I love what I'm doing right now, and I'm engaged in the process, and it's amazing. And I love this game. That's really all I have to say. Like, it feels like a victory lap, but it really isn't. What I'm doing is literally just starting. And I find it important for me to at least state that or stipulate that to myself, because this is really just a start. Like, this, doing 6 in 6 days is one thing, but having a world that I've built be understood is another thing entirely. And that is really what I'm trying to accomplish right now. I'm trying to accomplish the ideal that what I create can be spoken of in a light and a manner that is understood. Because sometimes that's all you really need, or all I really need, to be honest. I want to express, not explain, but I want to express this dialogue because I do believe it's important. And I do believe it's well thought out. And I do believe it's that's just a start, but it is actually a complete idea. And this is possibly one of the first complete ideas that I've exhibited in a long time. And it doesn't end with this, and it didn't even start with these. But one thing I know is that in doing this many things and being this intentional in the process, is that I'm 100% doing the right thing. And I'm just appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of the fact that I believe in myself enough to know that I'm doing the right thing. And I'm not doing it because I'm cocky. I'm not doing it because I'm confident. I'm doing it because I know it should exist. No arrogance, just like the humble and gratitude of like, yo, I'm creating something that should exist. I'm participating in a dialogue that I do believe needs to go on. So yeah, like, let me finish these. I'll probably be back soon. But yeah, let's stay tuned in, let's locked in. So I'm currently getting ready for work, but all 6 of them are finished in 6 days. The last part of the 1st and the 15th. So it's been a long road, but I've enjoyed all of this, like pretty much everything up until this point. And there's really not much else to say, but I appreciate this time and it was fun doing this. There was so many things I actually learned along the way, like not even to cap or anything like that, like quite literally I understood now, or understand more now, what I'm generally capable of in like a short space of time, and the level of achievement and attainment that I can have also while, as in all the while, you know, living my actual life, going out there, getting money, but also creating what I should be creating. I consider now and understand now the importance and value that I actually put into these, even when, you know, some of them have taken a week, some paintings I've done have taken a month, but they are generally all the same value to me in terms of what they bring to the overarching theme, the overarching, you know, mantra, the oeuvre, for instance. I have been in awe at myself, at God, and my abilities. I want to just thank my family because of the love that they showered me with, and my friends for always spurring me on, because without all of the things around me, this wouldn't be possible. That being said, one of the main reasons I did the 1st and the 15th was mainly to achieve that level of urgency a lot of people have when rent is due.